So we're going to talk a little bit about some sort of fundamental finger style or an approach to a finger style that's based somewhat on classical technique, but in time you can sort of change it or it can evolve to fit your playing style. For the most part, the thumb, we're going to use our thumb to cover the three bass strings. That's 6, 5, and 4. Our ring finger, we're going to use to cover the top string, which is our E string, number 1. Our middle finger, we're going to use to cover our B string, which is string number 2. And our first finger, or index finger, we're going to use to cover our G string, which is our 3rd. Now, I'm going to teach you a little exercise that'll sort of give you an idea of what we can do here. Let's try this. Now again, the most important thing is that there should be no tension at all in your hands. You should feel pretty relaxed. And again, listen to your body because you don't want to wind up with any kind of injury. Usually you have to be a little more hypervigilant when you're starting a new regular repetitive motion. Just make sure that you feel no tension at all. My hand is completely relaxed and I'm just letting my fingers fall on the strings. Now I'm going to have my thumb cover these three strings, 6, 5, and 4, and I'm going to do a little variation on the exercise. See if you can follow this, where the thumb is going to actually move up to 5 and then 4 and then back down to 5 and then back to 6 again. So it's going to go from your E to your D, it's going to go from your E to your A to your D, and then it's going to go back down again while the top strings are being played with your other fingers. So let's try that. Now I'm going to grab my metronome. Again, it's always important to Now, if you have any, you might have some questions about nail length. For the most part, for fingerstyle stuff, I keep my nails just barely visible. If you were to look at the front of the hand, you would just barely see a little bit of nail, and I keep them nicely filed for that reason. So that's the first, or the fundamental sort of the foundation for what. And again, work with your metronome so that you can actually slowly build it up to a tempo at which the stuff you might find it useful in the context of real music. There's another method that you can use where you alternate between your index finger and your middle finger, and this you can use very similar to the way we do alternate picking, where you can use this where both fingers attack the same string. So you get an alternating pick attack. And you can take it through all 6 strings. And in all cases, any of the finger picking exercises that you're doing, make sure you do them with a metronome that you can actually keep good time, and then just incrementally, ever so slowly, just inch the metronome up to a speed that feels comfortable. It gives you some facility, and you get a little workout, but at the same time preserving a lot of the accuracy with which you're playing them at slower tempos. So now we're actually going to incorporate some of the stuff from this lesson with the last lesson. And we're going to, the two chords that we learned last week, the A minor chord and the E major chord, we're going to practice those chords using the fingerstyle techniques that we've learned in this lesson. So here's the pattern. Now I'm going to break that down a little bit. Basically, for the A minor chord, the thumb covers the 5th string. And then our index, middle, and ring finger cover the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string consecutively. So it's going to sound like this. And we do that twice. Now when we switch to the E major chord, our thumb covers the 6th string, which is the E string, and again, our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers covered the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string consecutively, like this. And we do that twice. So together it sounds like this. End on the A with a chord that we just play with our thumb. Very important, use your metronome again. Always keep the metronome handy. So that's our little exercise, finger picking exercise with an A minor and an E major chord.